grabbing a tap from the shelf, and this one seems just fine. And you probably don't know what this is, because I didn't know what it was before I got it either. Altis, or Altis, or Altez, or something like that. I don't actually know how to pronounce the name of this beer. But this tap handle is a kind of cool one. I've seen a couple of other taps that are similar-ish to this. There's some Matt's tap handles and a couple of other ones that have a design that's a little bit the same, but also a little bit different. And there's some things that are kind of cool about this. And typically with taps like these, as I hit my phone. So typically with taps like these, I normally think of them as kind of like 50s or 60s, but I'm sure that some of them are also a little bit later than that. And there's some cool things to note about this. So first of all, a lot of times when you're looking at tap handles, you're going to see the label is just going to be a regular sticker. And I don't know if you can tell from this, but this is a little bit different, and this is something that you would see with a few of them, where it's kind of like a metal piece with adhesive on the back. So it's sticker-ish, but it's not the similar type of plastic or rubbery type sticker that you would normally think about. And another thing as well is that with some of these, or a lot of these around this period of time, it's got gold accents in addition to whatever color or design they had going on. So that's kind of cool to note. And also, I don't know if it was intentional or just the way that it was designed, but you'll notice that this actual item here doesn't directly line up with the outer tap handle. A lot of times when you see stuff like that going on, is because there was a manufacturer that was producing a specific size or style of the tap handle, and then they would just go for whatever adhesive labeling they decided to go for. So with this, you'll notice that it does have this on both sides. Both of these are fairly well lined up. With any of the older ones, you do want to just keep in mind, a lot of these were done by hand in a manufacturing shop or something like that. So sometimes you will see a little bit of slight variation. So if I'm looking at these from both edges, it looks like this side is actually a touch lower than this one over here. And then other things that we can point out here is this finale. So this is a finale that's a little bit different than a lot of the other finales that you'll see. So with this one, you'll notice that it's kind of flat on the top. So it's angled a little bit like that, and then it's flat on the top. So that's worth pointing out. And then also with the design, you'll notice that you've got this top section here that's flat, makes it easy to put that sticker on there. And then you've got that rounded handle portion with a ferrule down here. One of the things I'd like to point out is with the ferrule, if there is anything notable about it, and you'll notice that with these, this is going to be slightly different shape or design than you'll see with some of the other more modern ferrules. So that's not saying that there aren't companies that still use a design like that, but you'll notice it's a little bit different. So one of the things you'll note is that a lot of the more modern ones are a little bit more rounded on the edges. This one, you're fairly straight until you get to the edge. They've got a little bit of rounding there, but not a ton. Also, you'll notice that there's a touch of recess here. So sometimes with the ferrule, the threading will kind of go all the way to the very end. With this one, you'll notice that you actually have a little recess section there, and then you've got the actual threading. Threading here should still be the standard 3/8/16, which is common for North American tap handles. So that means that it will work with pretty much any adapter or any faucet, should work without issue. Every once in a while there will be a variation, but I try and call that out when I can. And aside from that, just a good, solid vintage tap handle.